Does changing your oil on your motorcycle make it run smoother, quieter and cooler? Let's get into it. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. So just riding home on the heroic Harley after doing an oil change and oil filter change with that Westway lubricants oil, that British brand. Anyway, so I thought I'd give you a bit of feedback on it. And well, basically just been riding for sort of 20 minutes coming here. Got the engine up to temp. Temperature is running about 150, 160. So I wouldn't say it's noticeably cooler. Maybe a little bit cooler, but it's very hard to judge on temperature comparisons because it depends on the ambient temperature and all that kind of stuff. I would imagine if it is running a bit cooler, it's only going to be running marginally cooler. The other thing is the engine running quieter? Well, actually it is. That top end high loud ticking sound it's still there, because that's always going to be there on M8 engines, but it's certainly not as much as it was last week. So from that point of view, it's worked. Now, is the bike running smoother, or is the engine running smoother? Well, it was always running pretty smooth anyway, but it does seem to be that as I'm accelerating, there does seem to be a little bit less vibration, a little bit less of that noise, as I said about, you know, there seems to be, I wouldn't say a quicker response, but it just feels a little bit smoother. Now, this could be a, you know, a psychological thing as well, that I think, well, I've changed the oil, I'm looking for it to be a little bit smoother, I'm looking for it to be a little bit quieter, I'm hoping it will be a little bit cooler. But say, if it's cooler, it's marginal. If it's smoother, it's marginal. If it's quieter, possibly just a little bit. But again, that could be down to a brand new oil it being as well. Now, I can't forget that I also changed your oil filter to that high flow oil filter. Now, maybe that's a little bit as well. Less restriction in the oil filter, more oil being pushed around the engine, and letting that pump, the original oil pump, work to the best of its ability. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the reason I'm hearing less noise, because more oil is getting through, so there's less noise on the top end from the rocker arms and things like that, and the valves and all that sort of stuff. So what do I think of this Westway oil? Well, I think it's too early to tell, in all fairness, but just a couple of trips that I've taken, the bike is running sweetly, no issues. There's still a couple of things I need to do, so next week I'm going to get it into the garage and do a couple more things, just to check everything. Then I'll be prepping it for winter, where I'm going to be spraying it to death with ACF 50 and WD-40 and my own concoction of olive oil, goose fat and a little bit of butter. Now, what I will say is that I am planning to change the oil again in winter, so it'll be really interesting to see how this oil stands up in the winter riding temperatures, and also how it's going to progress over the next couple of months when I do eventually change the oil in, let's say, November. So I'll let you know at that stage how it's been run up until that point, and then I'll let you know a little bit later on, let's say in spring, how it's been working over winter. But now all I can say is that the Westway lubricants, the oil, the 2050 fully synthetic oil, yeah, it seems to be no better or no worse than any other oil. In fact, I think the last oil that I put in, that 2050 from Castrol, wasn't a great oil. It didn't seem to work well with this bike, whereas this seems to immediately give me that confidence that it is going to be working better. How will it be for the long term? Who knows? Will there be any adverse effect on the engine long term? Who knows? How will it operate in the, you know, the really hot temperatures and the really cold temperatures in summer and winter? Who knows? But for now, it seems to be running great. All I can say is that it seems to be operating normally, but at a budget price, at half the price of any other oil. So quids in. Anyway, listen, I'm going to get myself home because I've had a full day of toil and I'm absolutely knackered, and I'll catch you again in another video coming very soon. maybe a few surprises in store. Catch you again. Ta-da. RevelatorAlf.